Selma Teacher 7, Mr. Bear here. Today is lesson number 3 for the computer literacy course. And we are going to go into Google Docs. I'm going to go over the tools that can be found in there, as well as some of the shortcuts that we can use in there. We're going to be creating a short project and then answering some problems at the end to test our knowledge. But first, I want to show you a little trick. On a Windows machine, you can use the flag key and the arrow key to position your active window, such as the lesson, over on one side of the screen, and use the flag arrow key again to center your lesson or your project work on the other side of the screen. If you're using a Chromebook, it's Alt bracket. If you use the Alt left bracket, it'll center the video over on the left, and if you use Alt right, it'll center that active window to the right. In this case, it could be your project. So let's get started with the lesson. Lesson number 3, Introduction to Google Docs. Well, you need to start the Chrome browser or open up your Chromebooks and then log into your Google accounts. Now these are the same Google accounts that we gave everyone last week. For the email, just use your username and then insert your password and then click on Sign In. If you have a home computer or a personal laptop, you do not need to log in or log out so frequently. A new window should open showing google.com. If you do not see the Google home page, you will need to navigate to that page by keying in the address www.google.com into the address box, as seen here. Number 2, click the Chrome Apps icon. This is found in the upper right-hand corner of the Google home page. Number 3, the Chrome Apps menu will load, showing many apps. 4, we need to click on the Drive icon. The Google Drive icon looks like this. Let's now turn to page number 2. Step number 5, the Google Drive app should load. We need to double click within the project folder. This will open it, and after it opens, the screen should change. Step number 6, once you are within the project's folder, click on the New button as seen here. Step number 7, click on the blue icon called Google Docs. 8, if you're asked to create this document within a shared folder, then click the blue Create and Share button as seen here. Introduction to Google Docs, a web application that works offline too. Google Docs is very useful in creating documents such as cards, calendars, handbills, CD holders, books, etc. When Google Docs first appeared, it was just a word processor with only a few features. Now it is a complete document creation and editing suite with as many features and tools as Microsoft Word. A few unique features of Google Docs are that it is a free, web-based application, yet it works offline. Of course, when you're offline, you don't have the web-based clip art gallery. Documents and spreadsheets are created, edited, and stored online or downloaded for offline use. Files can be accessed from any computer with an internet connection as long as the user has logged into their specific Google account. Any work created within Google Docs is protected and kept private unless the owner of these files shares their work with others. Google Docs is compatible with most presentation software and word processor applications such as Microsoft Word. These flying saucers are here to point out special notes. So whenever you see one, pay attention to what he is pointing out for you. Let's turn to page 3. Google Doc Basics. Now you should have Google Docs opened on your screen. In the upper left-hand corner, you should see the words Untitled Document. This is the document's title. It can be changed simply by clicking on that title and typing in the new title. The menu bar is below, where it says File, Edit, and so on. On the right-hand side, we see the owner's name. Below that, we see a blue button that says Share. This allows you to share your work with others. You also have a button that says Comments in case you want to leave comments within your document. Below the menu bar, we have the formatting tools. The formatting tools are quick and handy ways to find our very useful tools. Below that is the ruler, and below that is the workspace. Let's now look at the menu bar. The menu bar runs across the top of the window and contains many tools which we will become acquainted with. Let's start with the File menu. When you click on File, the very first option that we see there is Share. Below that is New, where you can create a new blank document, a new presentation, or even a new spreadsheet. Below that we have Open, where we can find work that we've saved in the past. Below that we have Make a Copy, so that you can actually create a copy of your work, make changes to that copy without affecting your original. You can download the document, you can email it as an attachment. With the version history, you can actually go back and see how your document has changed over time. So if you've made many different versions of that document, you can see every change that you made on any of the specific dates. You can undo those changes or redo them at any time. Next we have the Download tool. With the Download tool, you may download your document as any of these file types, such as Microsoft Word, Open Document Format, Rich Text Format, PDF, Plain Text, Web Page, or even EPUB. Next we are going to go back to the File menu. We notice that we can rename our document. We can move the document to another location, such as another folder. We can move the document to trash to delete it. We can publish it to the web. We can email collaborators. We can look at the document's details. We can change its language settings. And we even have the ability to change the page setup, where we find the ability to change the margin and the page layout. We also have the Print, where we can print our document. There is no Save button, because with every added letter or change that you do to your document, Google Docs automatically saves your work for you. This way you will never lose your work again. You can hide these menus by using the Ctrl-Shift-F shortcut. Let's turn to page 4. Google Docs menu is continued. Let's look at the Edit menu. In the Edit menu we find the Undo, where we can undo our mistakes. We find the Redo button, where we can redo our actions. We have the Cut, Copy, Paste, and then we also have the special Paste without formatting. We have Delete, Select All, and then the one that I use quite often, which is Find and Replace. So let me show you how Find and Replace works. Here's a short little sentence. John was driving his new car down the street when he saw. So if I wanted to change John to the word David, I go over here to Edit, click on Find Replace, find the word John, and replace it with David. Then I can say Replace All. And every time the word John comes up in my document, I replace it with the word David. Keyboard shortcuts. The keyboard shortcuts show up on these menus. They appear on the right-hand side of the menus. For example, Copy has Ctrl-C on the right-hand side of it. To access the list showing all of the shortcuts on your Chromebook, simply press Ctrl, Alt, and Question. Let me do that now. And it looks like this, where you can actually access different areas. And here you can do a search through the shortcuts, or you can actually look at the different categories. Next we have the View menu. The View menu has Print Layout, the Mode, Show or Hide the Ruler, Show the Document Outline, Show the Equation Toolbar, and you also have Full Screen, which hides all of your menus. Next we have the Insert menu, where we can insert an image, a table, a drawing, a chart, horizontal line, or even a footnote. You can actually insert special characters too, such as the ñ in Spanish. You can insert equations, header and page numbers, a break, a link, comments, bookmarks, or even a table of contents. Whenever you need to insert a table, click on Insert, then float the mouse to Table, and then float the mouse to the grid pattern that is seen to the right of the menu, as seen here. Click on the last cell that is needed in your table, and the table will be inserted into your document. For example, if I want to insert a table that had 3 columns and 2 rows, I click on Insert, I float my mouse to Table, and I float straight across, and then I would go down to the last cell, and when I notice it saying 3 by 2, I'd click once on that cell and it would insert that table. Here I'll demonstrate inserting a table. So I go to Insert, float over to Table and across, and then go to the table if I want the 3 by 2, and then click it, and there's my new table. Next, let's talk about inserting drawings. Whenever you need a drawing to be inserted into a document, click on Insert and then go down and click on Drawing. The drawing window will then open. By clicking Actions, word art can be inserted. Let's go on to page number 5. We're now going to go over the Format menu. We can format text, paragraph styles, we can align and indent, we can change the line spacing, change columns, we have bullets and numbering, we have the ability to change our table properties, an image, we can clear the formatting, and we can also change borders and the lines. Images may be changed or formatted by first clicking on the image. Whenever you do click on an image, you will see that it's surrounded by these blue squares, as seen here. After clicking on the image, click on Format, then go down to Image, and notice that you can crop the image, you can change the image options, or even replace the image, or reset the image to original. Next, we have the Tools menu. We have the Spelling Tools, Word Count, Review Suggestion Edits, Explore, the Dictionary, Keep Notepad, Translate the document, where you can take it from English and translate it to another language such as Spanish or even Japanese or another language. We can do voice typing. This is a great tool to have because once you click it, all you have to do is talk to your computer and it'll type whatever you say. I've used it quite often and it is a lot of fun. Let me demonstrate voice typing. I do that by clicking on Tools and then clicking on Voice Typing. Then it says click to speak. There once was a tree in the forest who was taller than all the others. Period. There you go. Then you click here to stop your typing, and there you go. So it actually works very well. Next, we have the script editor and preferences. Now, one of the tools I love using the most is Translate. So let me demonstrate here. I go to Tools, then I go down to Translate. Now I can choose any language that I want. So let's choose Spanish. Click on Spanish and then click on Translate. There you go. Is that easy now to translate your documents or your books? Then we have add-ons. We can get add-ons, which allows us to actually find and install more features and tools in our Google Docs, and then we can manage our add-ons. Here's a word about add-ons. Add-ons are small applications that run within Google Docs to give you more features such as mail merge. Then we have help. Help has a search box where you can actually type what you're looking for in here. Then there's Docs help, report an issue, report abuse, and then keyboard shortcuts, which is done by doing Control and /. Let's turn to page 6. Google Docs keyboard shortcuts. To see a list holding all of the keyboard shortcuts used within Google Docs, just press Control /. And this window will open up. You may click on these different headings such as Menu and see other shortcuts as well. Let's now turn to page 7, the Formatting Toolbar. The first icon that we see on our Formatting Toolbar is the Undo. Undoes your steps, starting with the most recent action. Then we have Redo. Redoes your last action. Then we have Print. This will print out your document to the printer. Now we have a shortcut to the spelling and grammar check. It looks like an A with a check mark on it. And this, of course, checks your document spelling and grammar. Then we have Paint Format. This copies and pastes the formatting that has been applied to the selected text and applies it to the other text. Then we have Zoom. Zooms in or zooms out of your document. Then we have Normal Text, and these are called styles. This allows you to change the style of the text within a document. Then we have the font. Now here we might see the word Calibri or Arial or some other word there. This allows you to change the appearance of the selected text. So let me demonstrate. I'll highlight my text. I'll go over to where it says Arial, pull it down, and notice I can choose any of these others such as lobster. Now it's changed the appearance of the text. Now if there's not a font here that I like, I can click on up here where it says More Fonts. When I do, I get this window open up and I can scroll down and look at the thousands and thousands of fonts that are here. When I found one that I like, you can click on it, click on OK, and it changes to that new font. Then we have the font size. This allows you to change the size of the selected text. B for bold allows you to bold the selected text. Then we have I for italic, allows you to italicize this text. Then U for underline allows you to add an underline to the selected text. And then we can also change the text color. And then the highlight color allows you to highlight selected text and images. Let's now turn to page 8. Use the undo button or the Ctrl-Z shortcut to fix any mistakes. The formatting toolbar continued. The first one we see here is the insert link. Allows you to insert a hyperlink into your document. Then we have insert comment, allows the user to insert comments into a document. And then we have insert image, allows you to insert images into the document. And then we have text alignment. This changes the alignment of the text to be either left justified, center, right justified, or evenly justified. Then we have line spacing, which allows you to change the line spacing. Then numbered list allows a numbered list to be inserted into the document. Then I have bulleted list, allows the bulleted list to be inserted into a document. And then I have the decrease and increase indent, allows the indents to be changed. Then clear formatting, this clears the formatting that has been associated with the selected text. Then we have background color, allows the background color to be changed. The border color, of course, allows you to change the border color. And then the border width allows the border width to be changed. And the border dash allows the border to be changed to a dash. Let's now turn to page 9. We have editing, which is the editing mode, allows the document to be viewed in an editing mode or just viewing mode without editing allowed. Then we have hide the menus, allows the user to hide the menus. Note that Google Docs can read, write, and save Microsoft Office documents. It can also convert any document to PDF or any other standard. Spelling underlines for Google Docs. Google Docs is programmed to check every word that you key in with a built-in dictionary. If a word that you key in is not in its dictionary, then it will become underlined with a red line like the one shown here. To correct the spelling errors, simply right-click on the word or group of words which have a red underline, and a menu will appear with suggestions that you can click on to replace the original words, as seen here. And remember, it may take 10 or more seconds before misspelled words are underlined in red, so just keep typing and go back and fix any errors after you have completed the sentence. Let's now turn to page 10. Adding new words to the Google Dictionary. Sometimes the dictionary does not have a word that you know is correct. This may be a name or a new device. To add that new word to the dictionary, simply right-click that word and select Add to Personal Dictionary from the pull-down menu. Looking up words. Any known words may be defined simply by right-clicking that word and then selecting Define. A side window will open showing the dictionary definition, synonyms, and antonyms. Let's now start with the practice with Google Docs. Step number 1. You should already be on a new blank page within Google Docs, as seen here. Step number 2. Click on the document's title, Untitled Document, which is found towards the top left of the document, and give it the name Project 1, as seen here. You do not have to save your work any longer, because it is saved automatically as you type. Step number 3. type or voice type the letters shown here, including the word Chicago. Use the Tab key to move the insertion point to the place where you wish to begin the text. The first line of the text begins with a date. You will need to hit the Tab key 8 times to move the insertion point to that location. You may use the shortcut Ctrl-Z to undo any mistakes. So here's the letter. You have to hit that Tab key 8 times to move the insertion point all the way over here to the right hand side of your document. And then you type in today's date. Then you hit the Enter key and you type in Dear Mr. Berry, comma. And then you need to hit the Enter key twice. Then hit the Tab key once so that you have this space here, this indent. And then you begin your letter. We had a great class last week, exclamation mark. I learned how to log into my Google account from anywhere, and I was able to see my Gmail, YouTube, Drive, and even my other email, period. I even called my Aunt Jo in Chicago with Google Hangouts, period. I watched all of your recent YouTube videos, and I made sure to click the thumbs up button, period. I even used Google Docs voice typing to make this letter. Thank you for helping us and keep up the good work, period. Then you have to hit the Enter key twice or 3 times, and then hit the Tab key 8 times to get over to the right hand side of the screen, and then type in Take Care, comma, and you can type in your name at the very end. Step number 4. After keying or voice typing in the letter as shown, right-click on any words that are underlined in red and correct their spelling. Step number 5. Once you have corrected the misspelled word, use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+A to highlight all of the text. And it will appear as you see here with everything highlighted. Step number 6. Click on the Font Selection tool where it might say Arial, and a menu will appear showing more fonts. So on some computers there it may be Arial or Calibri. What I'd like you to do is then once you have that menu, go all the way and then click on More Fonts. Page number 12. Step number 8. Once you have selected more fonts from the pull down menu, a new window should open, as seen here. Number 9. Click within the text box found within the fonts window, which appears here. Number 10. Key in the word lobster without the quotation marks in this box. Step number 11. After keying in the word lobster, the window will change as seen here. You'll need to click on the lobster font from the list. It should change to a light blue color as seen here. Step 12. Click on the blue OK button now, and the font selection tool should close. Step number 13. After adding the lobster font to your Google Fonts, the font should have changed to the lobster font. Let's turn to page 14. Step 14. If you do not see the lobster font, you'll need to redo steps 6 through 13. Step number 15. After making these changes to your letter, it should look just like this. Step number 16. If you wish to print out this document, then you can use the shortcut Ctrl-P to open the printer dialog window as seen here. Look at the destinations area and make sure that the correct printer is selected, because you can print to any printer that is connected to the internet and that you have registered to your Google account. So in this demonstration we have the word destination, and the printer is going to a Brother HL3170. This is the printer that is on the internet and that I have registered to my Google account. Step number 18. Click on the blue print icon to send the document to the printer. Step number 19. This project is already shared with Mr. Berry because you created it within a shared folder. If you wanted to share just one document with a friend or co-worker, then you would click on the Share button, which is found near the top of your document. Let's now turn to page 15. Step number 20. If you clicked on the Share icon, the Share dialog box should open as seen here. 21. You would then key in the co-worker's or friend's email address in the space provided as seen here, and then click on the Send button. A word about sharing files and folders. In the past, we would add a document to an email as a file attachment if we wanted to share it with others. Now, documents, pictures, music, or even whole folders can be shared with other people. When you share a document or folder, only that item can be seen by the other person. Your other files which you're not sharing cannot be seen. This is the beauty of sharing. Documents and other files can be shared, and the owner of those files can change the way the other people view those files. Remember, you can share folders, documents, photos, and even printers in this way. So here we see the dialog box. You key in the email address, and notice you click here and you can say can edit, can only leave a comment, or can only view. The owner can also change the other person's rights or privileges to that document, file, folder, or device. For example, the owner can share a document with 3 different rights: full editing privileges, can only leave comments, or can only view and print privileges. In this way, the owner always has full control of how their work will be handled by the other people. Let's now go on to page 16. Questions to lesson number 3. Now, only those who are taking this for credit need to do this test. The others can write in their book, and we'll go over the answers and questions after class. So please take out a clean sheet of paper and write your name along the top line. After writing down the answers to these questions, turn in the paper to Mr. Berry. Again, you only turn it in to Mr. Berry if you're taking it for credit. Question number 1. The undo option is in the A, the View menu, B, the Edit menu, C, the Tools menu, or D, none. Question number 2. The Page Setup option is in the A, the File menu, B, the Edit menu, C, the Tools menu, or D, none of the above. Question number 3. A red underline under a word in Google Docs means the word is A, correct, B, not found in Google's dictionary, or C, missing. Question number 4. You need to manually save your Google documents to see them later, as you did in Microsoft Word. Is this A, true, B, false, or C, none of the above? Question number 5. You can print to any printer that you have registered to your Google account and that is connected to the internet. Is this A, true, B, false, or C, none of the above? Question number 6. A user may use keyboard shortcuts instead of mouse clicks to do their tasks. Is this A, true, B, false, or C, none of the above? Let's now turn to question number 7. The shortcut Control-Shift-F does what? Question number 8. The shortcut Control Z does what? Question number 9. The shortcut Control A does what? Question number 10. Which OS does the Chromebook run? Question number 11. Now this is a review question from a previous lesson. Google gives more storage space if you own a Chromebook. Is this A, true, B, false, or C, none of the above? Question number 12. Now this is another review question. Google Docs and spreadsheets do not count against your storage space within the Google Drive. Is this A, true, B, false, or C, none of the above? Question number 13. Google Docs can open and save Microsoft Office documents. Is this A, true, B, false, or C, none of the above? Question number 14. What is the name of the button shown here? Is it A, the back, B, the left, C, the redo, or D, the undo? Question number 15. What will the Control Enter shortcut do within the Internet browser? Question number 16. What is the shortcut to hide the Google Docs menus? Number 17. About how many seconds may it take for Google Docs to underline a misspelled word? Question number 18. Google Docs can add words to your Google account personal dictionary, such as names, foreign words, etc. Is this true, false, or none of the above? Question number 19. You may share folders, documents, photos, and printers with others. Is this true, false, or none of the above? Question number 20. When sharing a document with others, you may share it with different rights or privileges. Is this true, false, or none of the above? Okay, that completes our test there. Now we want to make sure that you are sharing your class projects folder with Mr. Berry. You will see a small person on the icon of the folder if you're sharing it as seen here. And that concludes lesson number 3. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Click on thumbs up and comment down below because I love to read your comments. And when you do subscribe to my channel, make sure you do click on the little bell icon next to the subscribe button. That way you can receive notifications when new videos are uploaded. Thank you again, and bye-bye.